Hello, my friends or friend. Don't know who's here yet, but here's what I do know. If you're here, you're a friend, no matter the intention. All right, give me 1 second. So, I'm thinking about surrender. Hey, Jace. Jace says poop howdy. Poop howdy to you, my friend. And it says, good morning, Eric. Good morning to you, Jace. How are you? How's your morning going so far? I know it's later in the day for you. I'm going to give it a minute and I'm going to read a little bit from Course in Miracles. More so, we're going to talk about it. A lot of times, I've been very conflicted with using the term God. Reason being is it comes with so much conceptual baggage that we hear the word God and it comes with everything that we have learned about God. Everything that we've learned about God is wrong because God is not something that can be learned. God is not something or someone. It's not an entity. It is the fabric of reality. It's who we are. It's from which we spring from. So anytime we enter a concept, we lose the isness, the thingness, the experience. She says, I'm okay, thanks. Have an appointment in a few minutes, just waiting. Well, I appreciate you taking time to stop in and say hello. Thanks, Jace. This is why the Tao begins, the very beginning of the Tao Te Ching says the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The God that can be described is not the true God. It's your conception of God. And the conception that we have has been handed to us. We've acquired it. God, love, essence, reality, the Tao, isn't something that you can acquire. It's something that you realize and then express because it's who you are. It's in the heart. Our friend Jace often brings up in conversation, listen to the heart, express from the heart, be the heart. The heart is the territory. The word God is just a map. And never confuse the map with the territory. Juan says, anyone knows any clowns? I don't. I did know someone decades and decades ago in the 1980s who went to Italy to study at a clown school. I don't know if it was actually called a clown school, but he wanted to be a clown. I don't know whatever happened to him. We weren't friends, we ran in similar circles. Happy Life says, good morning, my friend. One says Trump is sorry, a whole bunch of clowns. I shouldn't laugh at that. I should laugh at that. It was funny though. I try to avoid political discourse, but you, my friend, made me smile this morning. Jace says happy one with the wave. So, I was raised in a Catholic upbringing. I went to Catholic school. I stepped away from it. And I did a whole lot of studying, a whole lot of self-inquiry, a lot of meditation, a lot of deep prayer, and became very uncomfortable using the term God because everyone conceptualized it, including me, most especially me. It's only recently that I've stepped back into using that, and I do so with the intent of reintroducing the God of our heart that is beyond a conception, beyond words. Course in Miracles says Words are but symbols, thus twice removed from reality itself. It's just a word. But the essence, the thingness, who we are. Medivh World says, hi Eric, hello my friend, how are you? This has brought me to this point in my life of attempting a deep surrender. Just a contradiction. How can you attempt to surrender? You're either surrendering or you're not. You are either falling or you're grasping to an edge. There's an old story of a man who was running from a herd of elephants, and he came to a cliff. And on the edge of the cliff and looking down, he saw a bunch of tigers. I don't know what a bunch of tigers are called, so we'll just call them a bunch of tigers. So there he was, on the edge of a cliff, herd of elephants stampeding towards him, a bunch of tigers below him. And the only thing he can think to do is to pray. And he prays, I need help. I need to do something. And he hears a very powerful voice coming from within, and the voice says, jump. I will catch you. You will be safe. I will provide for your passage. And he looks back at the stampeding elephants, and he looks down at the bunch of tigers, and he says, is there anyone else up there that I can talk to? That's where we are. That's where I am in my surrender. I am urged to let go, and I let go, and I let go, and I keep asking, is there anyone else? Is there anything else I can do? But in the end, all we can do is surrender. We confuse power with force, and we try to be forceful in our life. I want this, I'll take this. I deserve this. This belongs to me. We have demand after demand after demand, and demand is always based in force. Force is never power. Power comes from the heart. Let's see. Juan, you are a delusional. So I'm not going to read that. Why would you say something unfriendly towards our friend Juan? Now, if you had said, Eric, you are a delusional fool, I would say, of course I am. I would agree with you 100%. But we don't do name calling towards other people here. So the reason why surrender is so hard is because we doubt ourselves. And of course we should. Because the self that we believe in, the self that we believe we are, is not the true self. It's the ego. And the ego's gotten us into all kinds of trouble. It's created a mess. Don't believe me? Look at the world. However, Spirit, the Holy Spirit, our connection with God. And when I say Holy Spirit, don't confuse it with the religious concept. The Holy Spirit is simply God's reality that resides within us, and we can turn to it in any moment. So when I surrender, if I surrender to the Holy Spirit, and this is what A Course in Miracles in lesson 155 says, I will step back and let him lead the way. I will surrender and give myself to God. I will open my heart and let my heart spill forth and live in that reality. So I'll no longer say, is there anyone else up there? And I'll listen to the answer. Does that mean it'll be easy and seamless? Probably not. But hey, we do what we can do. Lesson 155, A Course in Miracles, I will step back and let him lead the way. There is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. You do not change appearance, though you smile more frequently. I love that. You do not change appearance, though you smile more frequently. My life is manifesting in a smile. Your forehead is serene. Okay, maybe my forehead is not serene. It's getting there. And your eyes are quiet. And the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own. Yet those who have not yet perceived the way will recognize you also, and believe that you are like them as you were before. The world is an illusion. Lesson 155. Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where they can be illusions and avoid their own reality. Yet when they find their own reality is even here, then they step back and let it lead the way. What other choice is really theirs to take? To let illusions walk ahead of truth is madness. But to let illusions sink beneath the truth and let the truth stand forth as it was is merely sanity. So the simple choice we make today is, I will step back and let him lead the way. Let love lead the way. We have guideposts. Always. I wrote about that this morning. We have guideposts. And what's the guidepost? Ask yourself. This is what Carlos Castaneda learned from his teacher, Don Juan Matus, the great Yaqui seer. I might be pronouncing that wrong. A seer is just someone who sees reality. Source someone who lives from the source. And that's what Don Juan was, and that's what he taught Carlos Castaneda. What he said was, ask yourself, does this path have heart? And then listen to the answer. Does this path have heart? Anything that is not love, you'll know. Is it pleasing the ego or is it pleasing the spirit? Is it pleasing the mind or is it pleasing the heart? The heart is the true intelligence of the body. The brain is a wonderful instrument. It gives us thoughts that help us navigate through life, but it does not create reality. Reality is not a thought, although the illusion that we're living in is thought-based. Everything that you perceive, this book, this desk, this watch, is a thought created. Tools, and they can be wonderful tools, or they can be tools that do great harm. But it's the heart that reflects reality. Listen to the heart. So lesson 155 is asking us to surrender to the heart and let the heart lead the way. Listen and look for those signposts. Is my heart in a sense of disquiet? Am I agitated? Am I feeling overly aggressive, forceful? A lot of people say you got to be forceful. You want to be forceful. Remember, force isn't power. Force is the ego making its demands. Power is quiet. Power is the water that carved the Grand Canyon. Force is, let's use an example of a sculptor. That if a sculptor forces, Michelangelo could never force David upon the stone. Ever. Then it wouldn't be David, it would be a reflection of Michelangelo. What Michelangelo said when he was asked, how did you carve David out of that solid block of stone? He said David was always in the stone, and he simply removed everything that is not David. That's power. When you look at someone and you attempt to carve your own reality, you attempt to force your demands upon someone else, you'll never succeed. It might seem like it for a little bit, but what you've sowed is the seeds of resentment. That's what force does. However, power is when you look at someone and you see deep past the surface and you see David within the stone. That's power. You're releasing their inner David from the stone. So, all right guys, it looks like it's a quiet morning. Sometimes it is. So with that, we're going to let things go for the morning. Remember lesson 155, if you want to. I will step back and let him lead the way. with that, guys, I'm going to see y'all later. God bless.